So welcome. Today I'll be talking about layer marks. Now for the purpose of this training video, what I'm going to do is not going to be perfect, right? But I'm just going to show you this so you have an idea of how it works, and then you can apply it to any of your image. Now, the purpose of layer marks is to hide different parts of a layer. But before you do that, you need to learn how to create a layer. Now, what's the purpose of a mask? Remember in 2020, during the year of COVID, everybody was having face masks on. So the face mask hides, right? It covers. So layer masks hides different parts of a layer, and that's what we're going into today. So how do you create a layer? Now, this word pose is just covering the eyes of this model, and you need to hide the O so that the face of the model will show without disrupting or destroying the model. Now we can see that the background image is where we have the model, and the text is just another layer on the model. How do we create a mask? I click on my text layer, then I come to the mask icon just below here, and I click on it. I've created a mask. Now then I can now get my brush, then brush over the part I want to. I can increase my brush size using the bracket key on my keyboard to increase and to reduce it. So I'll brush over this. If you brush with black color, right, you'll be hiding when you brush with white, you'll be revealing. So that's just the logic behind it. So I'm going to brush with my black. You can see the model face is coming out, and it's not destroying the background layer as well. So what I'm doing here is just hiding just this letter O. Let me see if I can make this a necklace. Even though she has like a necklace on already, you just play with this depending on what you're working on. I want to take it out of the hand. So to be, I see the hand is on the necklace. When you're doing this, it's best you zoom out, Ctrl plus, right? Like I said, I'm not gonna make it so perfect because it's just to give us an idea of how this works, right? So you take your time and you brush over it. Okay. Okay. So what I've done here is just to hide, max out that O so that it will be like a necklace, but you can still tell, making the head of the model O, right? I can choose to hide this part of the S to just go below the M by using the black color to paint over it. See, this is a non-destructive editing with the use of max. Right, like I said, they're not going to do perfect, right? Because it's just for education purpose. So when you're working, you take your time out to make your work look good and presentable to your clients. Now you can see we have actually maxed out the face is now revealing and the arm revealing and everything is looking somewhat good, right? So another thing I need to point out is you can actually make your marks independent of the text by clicking on this link button, right? Once you click on this is independent and this is independent as well. You can choose to also hide your marks by holding your shift and clicking on the marks. You see? So you can reveal it again by holding your shift and clicking on your marks. It goes back to how it was. You can bring back the link by clicking at the center in between here, and it's linked together. Now we'll show you where this linking and unlinking marks work. I'm not going to use this image, I'm going to use the next image. I'm just letting you know that this has some um, properties you need to know and how it works, right? So um, now why do we use layer marks, right? We use layer marks because one, it's not destructive, and two, it works with a non-raster layer like a smart object or a vector object like your text. Okay, so now let's work with another image. So like I said, the reason for using layer mask is because it's not destructive and it works with non-raster layers. Now I'm going to show you what I mean by it's not destructive and it works with non-raster layer. In the previous image that I used, that's a good example of non-destructive. And for this other image, I'm going to introduce a background to this image where I have to show you how it works with smart object and vector layers. So I'm going to bring my background and drop it on my image. Okay. So the moment I drop this background on my image, it becomes a smart object. Okay, so a smart object can be identified with this icon here on this image. Now I have my background here. So instead of me bringing my background, dragging it below the background layer, I can still leave it where it is. Then I will create a mask over it. And that is after making my selection on my subject by clicking on the quick selection tool and clicking on subject, select subject. So as you can see, the image has been selected. So all I need to do is to introduce my layer mask. And how do I introduce my layer mask? I'll click on the background, hold my Alt key, and I'll click on this mask icon here. So now we're going to see why I said it's not destructive. One, my background is locked, and my image is here. So let's play around with this image and see why I said it's not destructive. Why I said it's not destructive, number one is this. If I try to expand my image, see what happens, my background, see what happens. You can see that the masked area has been cut out and the image is no more in position, right? So let's go back. And that's why I talked about the link between the mask and the background. So if you have to expand your image for any reason, all you need to do is first you unlink your mask from your image, then you expand and you place it where you want to. This way you can see everything is intact. Then once you're done, you can link the marks together. But that's not what I want to do. So let's take it back again. Okay, so I'm going to link it again with the background layer. So it's now linked. Okay. Another thing to note, if you're trying to work on the background or the other layer, when you want it marked, you can actually hide your marks, the marked image, by holding your shift key and clicking on the marks. And once you do that, what happens is it hides the marks, giving you good picture of the other layer which you want to work on. And once you're done with what you have to do, you can then reveal it by holding your shift and clicking on the marks again for it to review. So that's how to turn on and turn off your marks, your layer marks, by holding the shift key and clicking on the marks. So let's play around with this image a bit and play with some properties of layer marks by adding some adjustment layer to it. Now this image is in color, the background is black and white. I want this image to be black and white, so I go to my adjustment layer and scroll up to black and white. I just want it to look real, to match with the environment. So there's no fix, no hard rule about this actually. Right, there's no hard rule about this. So you just do it to your taste. So this is black and white, then you hide it. I might want to add some grain to the filter, right? Just to add some texture to it. All I need to do is I come to my filter, I'll convert to smart filter, I'll click OK, I add a new layer, and I label it grain. So let's add some grain to this image. I will have to open a new layer dialog box by using Control Shift N and Control Shift N to have the new layer dialog box. We change the blend mode to overlay, then we check fill overlay with neutral color 50% gray. So what happens when you select that? It means 50% gray will be everywhere dark, will be 50% darker, and everywhere white will be 50% white. Okay, and the next thing to do is to convert this layer to a smart object by coming to filter, you click on your convert smart filter. Okay, then we can now add some noise to this image by coming to filter, click on noise, add noise, then you determine the intensity of the noise you want to have. The reason why we're doing this is so as to blend this image with the background to have a good texture and a good feel, so it looks original. So let me adjust this. So whatever property you want to use, I want to use uniform or occlusion, it's fine, but make sure it's on monochromatic since you're working on black and white here. So you can look at the intensity of 17 is too much. Let's make it like 9. I think this looks good. With 2 hash. Let's take it to 8, 6. I think 6 looks okay. So here you have a good blend of your image. You can zoom out to see. So you can see this is non-destructive, as I've explained. That's why we use our layer max. Okay, so let's talk about some properties of layer max. So on the property of a layer max, work with this image. So click on my adjustment layer. I go to curves. I create a vignette by bringing this down just to make it a bit dark. Right, I can also make some adjustment here, creating another, make it a bit, bringing it down. And then I come pick my brush and make sure it's a hard brown brush, opacity 0, flow opacity 100%, flow 100%. I'll make sure the color is black. Then I will increase my brush size. Then I dab just once. Okay. Then I can come to my max layer to access the property of the max layer. I double click on the max. The property comes up. We have density, which tells you how bright this area will be or how dark. But today I'll be talking about feather. Then for the feather, it will make the edge of this bright part a bit soft instead of this hard. So I'll move it down upward till I'm okay with it. I think I like this because it brings more focus to the face. Yeah, so you can hit your Control D or your Control T to move this property to which wherever you want it to with the brightest, and I think that's actually cool. So the more you increase it, the size, the brighter the area of the face and the brighter where you want to call attention to. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and follow for more. And keep learning, keep creating. The more you practice, the better you become good at this. See you in my next video. Thank you.